The other day we did some pine needle tea. Good stuff. Today we're going to do chaga tea. If you ain't never heard of chaga, it's technically a fungus, mushroom, or whatever. And it grows up north on birch trees usually. And this is a big chunk of it so you can see what it looks like. Oh, here you go. It has a distinct smell. If you've ever smelled it, you'll know you got it. This stuff was used by the Native Americans because it holds an ember. You can set this on fire and it won't flame, but it'll sit there and smolder. You can strap it to a string and drag it with you, let it swing. When you get to your next campsite, you'll already have an ember. Put it with your tinder bundle, blow it up, then you can stick this in the dirt, water, whatever, and put it out. Light it back up when you're ready to go from that fire, and go on down to the next place. But the medical properties to this for making teas and tinctures is amazing. It's full of vitamin D, B, potassium, magnesium, zinc, all these other different things. It's been known to slow the aging process, help prevent and cure cancer. It lowers the blood sugar, so if you're a diabetic and you're taking insulin and your sugar is high, yes, you can drink this. But if it's already low or normal, be careful. Talk to a physician, whatever you want to do, or play with it yourself and see how it does with your body. It also helps prevent the side effects of other drugs. Now, all this information is on the internet. You can get on there and Google it yourself and look it up. But from personal experience, this stuff acts like a energy drink to me. It gives me great energy. It does lower your blood pressure, which is good for me. Helps reduce the risk of heart disease and all kinds of other things. And I'm going through some issues with my back right now, and blood pressure's been high due to the meds and the pain. So I'm going to make some chaga tea. What you want to do, excuse me while I sweat on myself, you want to take this piece and you want to break it into about 6 or 8 smaller pieces. See that? Break it into about 6 or 8 smaller pieces, and that's what you're going to put in the pot. Now, this is what I do for about a gallon, and I bring it to a bowl. I'm going to throw that in the pot water, and I'm going to bring that pot water right there to a bowl. I think it's already on high. Yep, it's on high. And what we're going to do is you just let it sit there, and if you want to look at that, you can see the water already changing color, starting to look like a tea. We're going to bring it to a bowl and then leave it on low and let it simmer for probably about 2 hours. The longer you let it boil, the more you let it tincture up, the more concentrated it's going to be. And once you pull that out and you're done with it, you can actually use that chaga another time or two. So it's not just one time use. You can use it a couple times. But and then we're going to pause for a minute. We're going to come back and we're going to let this boil. So I guess I'll be back in about 2 hours, and I'll show you how we process this and how we make our actual gallon of tea. Okay, we got it to a boil. Oh, and the jar says hey. We got it to a boil. I'm gonna let it boil for about a minute or two, because all you're gonna do is waste water and all the stuff you need. Well, it's actually been boiling for a minute too. And now I'm just gonna back it down to a low and then just let it cook. This water will get more brown and more brown as we go, and we'll end up with some amazing chaga tea. We'll get back with y'all in just a second. Alright, this thing's been actually simmering for 2 hours. You can tell it's good and dark. It's not water no more. We made tea. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it off. And I'm actually going to try to sift out some of these big chunks, because you can reuse these a couple times. Depending on how far you cook it down and how long you cook it, you can actually reuse these probably 3 or 4 times. But you'll notice the taste difference, so it'll tell you when to pretty much stop using it and get some new ones. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then whatever we don't scoop out, we're going to pour through some cheesecloth first. Alright, I think I got most of the big pieces out. So we're going to go over here to this cheesecloth. We're going to see if we can't pour it through that cheesecloth without making a killer mess. Because there's a bunch of materials down in there that we don't want in our tea. But oh, we're gonna have to do this twice, maybe. I don't know. We might make it. We are good, boy. Look at that. I see all those leftover particulates. You don't really want those. You can save them if you want and put them in the next cook, but they're too small. Don't worry about them. I'll just set that over there. Now what we're going to do is you could actually run this through the cheesecloth again if you wanted to, but I think it's pretty much good to go. And yeah, most of us don't mind a little grinds left over. Now I'm going to put this in a tea jug because this is concentrated. This is pretty potent stuff. So I'm going to put it in the tea jug, dilute it with water, and then what I do is I sweeten my cup as I pour it. I don't sweeten the whole jug because that's a whole lot of honey, and I don't use sugar. So I'm going to use the same honey I did in another video, some Flyby Bee Yard honey. It's just all natural. That's what you want to look for. It says it on the back here, homegrown in Georgia. The honey, of course, is going to be good for you. The tea is going to be good for you. Sweeten however you want to. If you want to use regular sugar, that's your choice, but I don't. I prefer to sweeten everything if I can with sugar. I mean, with honey, not with sugar. Rinse that out a little bit. Get the goods out of it. And I'm just going to put some water in there. Take a wooden spoon. Mom always told me when I was a kid, you don't make tea with metal spoons. You always make a wooden spoon. It tastes better for some reason. Don't know why. Now, depending on how strong or how weak you like your tea, you could actually dilute this a little bit more. Make 2 gallons out of it. This is going. I like mine kind of strong, so this is going to be some good strong tea. But when you pour your individual glass, if you want to, pour half water, half chaga tea. You can get it as strong as you want, dilute it as much as you want. Feel free to add lemons to it. Lemons are really good for you, especially if you're dieting. Supposedly this stuff helps you with your diet, helps you lose weight naturally. Lemons do the same thing. Add some lemons to it. You'll be good to go. Look at there, I missed one. Look at there. Come here, boy. Come out. Ah, gotcha. We don't need that. So, we got some chaga tea. And we're going to put a lid on it. And we're going to pour ourselves a glass, and I'm going to sweeten mine with honey. I think Mr. Ben is going to sweeten his with honey. What do we do to the lid, Mr. Ben? Oh, here it is. But, that right there is how we make chaga tea. And I'll tell you, every time I've had chaga tea, it's almost like drinking an energy drink mixed with some kind of health drink. Everything just feels better. You get a little bit more energized. You just feel better, you know. So try it out. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, hey, don't drink it. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, wherever the buttons are. God bless you, and tell your friends, and hopefully we'll see you again real soon. Thank y'all. Alright, I thought I was going to end the video, but me and Mr. Ben's been here kind of working on leather stuff. And we've been talking, we've been working, not paying attention. And Mr. Ben drank him a couple glasses of that chaga tea. And I was like, you know what? Everything we were just talking about needs to end up on this video. So what I'm going to do, because I know how good chaga tea is, Mr. Ben's never had it. So I'm going to let you listen to what he has to say about it real quick out of his mouth. And y'all be the judge. I thought y'all might want to just a little bit of, what's it called? Testimonial from a converted man into the ways of the chaga tea.
We're good. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Before I even took a sip out of the tea, it was still boiling. We put it back on the boil after it cooled off to get it hot. We didn't put it in the microwave. We don't want none of those weird microwave mojos getting into our tea, okay? So this is what I did. I kind of just let it hover right here, and I went, and I started inhaling it. And just the smell of it started opening me up a little bit. And I was like, okay, all right. I'm gonna give this a good go. Well, empty about the 4th or 5th time. Stuff tastes good, and it opens your mind up a little bit. I'm not, let's see, the most G-rated way to put this is no-dose. Using no-dose whenever you can just feel it kind of energize you and almost hydrate you. Hydrate you at the same time. The tea is solid. Right about now, my bladder's full, and I'm fitting to take off. And but yeah, as far as the tea goes, I can feel a difference in the hydration though. It's kind of like whenever you swig a good glass of water and your eyes, everything just focuses. But that was not a whole 12 ounces of water. It was just a few sips of chaga tea, and it just pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Recommended highly.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ben.